Well, hello, good people. Well, it's a little chilly in here, so I've got my scarf on over here. But anyway, let's take a look. We have today, I've been doing some collecting the last few months from the internet mostly, and I can show you what I have right now. Let's take a look. Here, these, we can take a look at some other time. These are a couple of lanterns, colonial lanterns from the colonial period. They're made out of tin. This is another one. Here, this one I labeled, let's see, 1800s tin lantern with punch pin, ring top vent, protects rings from glass. Yeah. So this, anyway, these are two interesting, very vintage lanterns. Okay, now, yeah, these are two candlesticks that I've had before. They were given to me by a very good friend. These two. Anyway, they can be used for Sabbath candlesticks. See these? Now let's take a look at some others. So these are those two. These are the lanterns. This is called a chamber stick. So in the 1900s, the 1800s, they used to, there weren't lamps, so they used to go, and when they'd wake up from bed, it was still dark. They'd have a candle there, and this has a push-up device. This is a chamber stick candle. This is an old brass colonial American, circa early 1700s, 1800s. This is a very nice one. What's it called? Brass. It's a very heavy one. Well constructed. So that's a colonial. This is like Sabbath candlesticks. This over here, made out of wood. That's from Israeli. That goes with the, you see in the back, there's like a scene. This scene is really three different panels. It's like I think they call it a triptych. 3 panels, and they make this. This is like an autumn scene. Anyway, this I happened to find. So anyway, I thought I'd show it. Anyway, let's continue on with the candlesticks. This here, let's read it. Rare antique, 17th century, brass candle holders. This might be a Spanish origin. Then this one here, let's take a look at this one. Antique, 17th, 18th century, single brass octagonal base candlestick. Octagonal base, that means 8 sides to the base. 17th, 18th century candlesticks. So that's, I think some of these are Spanish, that I don't have the, specifically on. Early 18th century bronze candlestick, Louis XIV period. So this one is a French candlestick pair. I mean, one candlestick. It says, you see that, Louis XIV, early 18th century. We'll go through this a little bit more depth in a minute or two. My hand won't be in the way also. Antique century, 17th, 18th century, single brass candlestick. octagonal base. So that's another octagonal base. This one has a little bit, it has, you see the different panels here. Let's take a look at this one now. This is 17th century French bronze multi-cupped baluster socket candlestick circa 1660. So let's take a look at this one. This one's very polished. Alright, we'll look at it a little bit further later on. We'll look at it more. So now let's take a look over here. We have on this side here antique 17th, 18th century continental single small brass candlestick square base. So what is this? 17th, 18th century continental single small brass candlestick square base. Here, this also has the various panels. These are handmade. Anyway, if we don't get it all in right now, I can make a second video on this. Antique 17th, 18th century brass candlestick. Candle holder of Latin origin. So it's of Latin origin. Here we go. Now this is a pair of candlesticks. They said it was from Iberia. It's a nice here. This one and that one. Oh, what does it say? I might not have written anything on this one. It's a nice, interesting pair. They're kind of short, these candlesticks. Anyway, antique 17th, 18th century single small brass candlestick square base. So this is 17th, 18th century square base and brass. Okay, let's take a look at it. Okay, we've seen that one. Here, this is a nice pair of copper. I'm not sure how old this is. I don't know if it's too old. This is another example of the chamber stick that I showed you. Now, this pair is this pair here is a French. I think it's called from the second Napoleonic era. The second era, Napoleon II, I think it said, or, well, I can have more information next time. Anyway, these are French. It's that style. This is also, these here, French antique seamed brass candlesticks, France. These are not, it's not a pair. It looks like a pair, but it's not quite a pair. As we can see, this is a little bit different than that. So they were sold together, you know. It was, the bases are a little bit different also, and it said seamed. Seamed means, let's see where the seam would be. Let's see where the seam is. Well, the seam means, I think that it was, they made it in two halves, and then they put it together somehow. Maybe by soldering. Let's see, maybe the seam is more apparent in this one. Well, it can be looked over. and I'm sure it can be found. Let's see this one here. This one is 17th century bronze acorn baluster cupped socket candlestick circa 1640. Oh, so this one is rather old. 1640. So this is the French. This is French here. And this is the other French one. You know, that's the pair. And yeah, this one is Iberia. This pair here. This one is what? Antique 17th, 18th century. Brass candlestick. Square base. Okay, so now, yeah, this one is the other, Louis the 14th. This one is a French one too. This one is American. These are the Sabbath candlesticks. You see the olive wood. This also, it can be used as Sabbath candlesticks. Not necessarily made for the purpose, but all of them, I suppose, can be used for the Sabbath candlesticks. And oh, here we are again at the lanterns. This is colonial tin lanterns. Okay, thanks a lot for watching. Again, we'll see you soon. Take care.